Let's go. All right. Hi, guys. I'm Kristen Carter out of Phoenix, Arizona, and I am so excited to be talking with you about leveraging AI and using ChatGPT and doing all the fun stuff that you can do. Um, I'm hoping that your screen is also going to see mine, but it looks like your TV is not in the office. I know Zoom can see me and Zoom can see. There it is. Okay, we're good. We got this. So then. So here's what we're gonna do. So this is kind of the game plan for today. I do love Q&A. I love interactivity. So if you guys have questions, if you have things that you're working on, problems you've run into, I would love to troubleshoot those with you. I'm going to kind of go fast through a lot of this. I know we've got a time that we're working within. So if at any point there's a spot where you want me to like stop and you have a question, just raise your hand and we'll jump right into that. So a little bit about me. I am licensed and in production for the last 7 years. I've been on the same team, located in Gilbert, Arizona, just east of Phoenix. Got 3 kids, 4 dogs. I used to be a professional photographer and digital marketer before I joined real estate. So I'm crazy techie. I absolutely love when new stuff happens, and then I have to like dive in and learn more. When ChatGPT first came out, I started playing with it just for fun. And then I realized the capabilities that it has for business and that most real estate agents are afraid of new tech. So this kind of launched me into this fun space of being able to talk to others about ChatGPT and AI and teach them how to use it in their business and not to be afraid of it. I actually did grow up in the Central Valley. I am a Series High graduate. What? No, don't like no applause there. My family lives in Ripon. I've got family in Manteca, Bay Area. So I love that I'm talking to y'all and working with this because this is where I grew up and where you guys are selling. Um, I co-admin a Facebook group of 10,000 real estate professionals called ChatGPT and AI Mastermind. I'll send you guys a link and you can absolutely join it. We do a lot of fun stuff in there and it's very interactive where you can post questions or stuff that you're doing and other people can chime in too. Because here's the deal, no matter what level you are with AI right now, there are other people who are ahead of you and there are other people who are behind you. So just focus on where you are with it and what you need to do to implement it into your business to take you to those next steps. Don't worry about the rest. That'll just come. So here's the real deal of how AI can help you in real estate. The biggest thing that it can do is it's going to remove the overthink for you. We all get in our heads. We all start thinking about all the things we can do, should do, uh, the shiny objects out there, and we start analyzing them. And then we spend time on those and we make the listing presentation so pretty and perfect and amazing. And yet we're not out lead generating. So when you can remove that overthink, put you straight into action, you're going to get much faster at things. You're going to get in front of more people. And that's what we really want to do is build those relationships. It's going to save you time. You're going to be able to brainstorm. You can hand off projects to your VA or your director of operations or your TC, and then you don't have to touch it. That's the other thing is that get your hands out of your business and let other people run that stuff for you, give you some leverage so that you're in the dollar production activities and not doing the rest. And then the last piece is leverage. Once you start to figure out what those AI pieces look like and how you can plug them into your systems, then you can get real fun and start leveraging off some of those tasks to AI automations. You can actually have it where instead of having your TC enter all of your MLS data for you, an AI agent can enter that based off of your MLS input sheet. And then it can also do an automatic listing description for you. It can also look at the photos and tell you which ones need some tweaking, which ones you should stage, which ones might need some objects removed. These are all things that an AI agent can handle for you in conjunction with your director of ops, your TC, your VA. So that's where the future of this is going, is into the automation aspect and inputting AI into that, not necessarily to replace people, but to give them more tools. ChatGPT is probably the easiest one for most people to start with, and that's where I usually start with agents because it's one that everybody knows about. It's very user-friendly. You speak to it just as if you're speaking to an assistant or someone that you know. And so for that reason, I like talking about ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is interchangeable with Gemini, with Claude, with a couple of these other ones. They're all what are considered large language models. which means that you can talk or text to them and they interpret what you're saying and then give you back a response. So here's some of the things that people in real estate are doing with AI and ChatGPT. Copywriting is the biggest one, of course. So your email templates, your website copy, your biographies, blogs, guides, presentations. Social media is huge. You can automate a lot of your content strategy and creation. You can have it help you figure out who your client avatar is. So who are you talking to when you're talking about your marketing? Who are you talking to on your Instagram channel? Is that the same person you're talking to on YouTube? Is that the same person you're talking to on Facebook? If you look at the demographics of each of those social platforms, the answer is no. And so therefore you should be changing your messaging to attract the right customer from each of those platforms. You can have the same message, you can have the same content. It's what you do as far as tone and editing goes that you're going to attract other people. And being able to quickly have a piece of content and turn it into 3 different things with 3 different tones for 3 different audiences is done so much faster with the help of a large language model. It'll write your scripts, it'll write your captions, it'll help you with thumbnail images and text of your social media stuff. Then when we get into the leverage piece, it can automate your systems for you. You can send emails, it can send text messages. Yes, that counts as one of those FCC rules that we were just being warned about. Those automated text messages coming from an AI agent, those will be considered automated and fall into that. So you do have to have consent from your client on that. But it can write code for blogs or websites. It'll help you role play conversations, which is a really fun one that not a lot of people realize. So if you want a role play partner, you can absolutely use a large language model for that. It'll also help you with anything as far as brainstorming goes. If you've got big ideas, if you've got an event you want to run, if you've got all these other things that are just popping around your head, it can help you organize your thoughts. On the home front side of things, it can help you with meal prepping and it can help you with task prioritization. So if you've got a big long list of things that you know you want to do, you can tell ChatGPT, hey, here's my list of things. Put this in order of the ones that are going to make me money. And then it'll actually task orient you and tell you how long each of those tasks is going to take. And you can then tell it also what your calendar for the day is, and then it'll plug in to your empty spots of where you need to do the things. So if you're brand new, chatgpt.com is where you go. You'll create a login. You don't need the paid version. I'm going to repeat that. You don't need the paid version. Okay. Save your money. It's $20 a month until you are using ChatGPT to the level that you are buffering it daily, where it tells you, hey, stop, you did too much. You need to come back later. If you're not hitting that spot daily, you don't need the paid version yet. So I'm all about saving money. One of the coolest parts that sets ChatGPT apart from the other large language models is the ability to set up custom instructions, though. So here's why I like ChatGPT is that it gives me 1,500 characters to tell it everything about me, who I am, what I do, how I speak, what I'm going to be using ChatGPT for, where my team is located, what my team name is, all of these details to give it context so that when I'm starting to work within it, I'm not having to load every single conversation with the same data over and over. So this is kind of how you're training your language model to respond to you. What's great is that the sky is the limit for customizing it. You can come up with whatever you want to put into it. I know this meeting's going to be recorded, so feel free to steal any and all of these and use them in your custom instructions. I also have a video in my group of how to set up your custom instructions. So if anybody wants the actual step-by-step, join the Facebook group and I'll get that over to you. When you're working with large language models, the biggest thing that I have to tell people is what your prompt is the most important. So when you're talking to it, yes, you're going to talk to it in basic English, just as you would an assistant. However, it doesn't always have the full context of what we're working in. It's got your custom instructions. It's probably got its memory turned on so that it knows a little bit about you. But overall, it's not going to know what's in your head just by it coming out of your mouth and being a request. So I like to use this method and it's super easy. It's the ART method: assign, response, and tone. So you're going to assign it a role. You're going to tell ChatGPT what job it's doing. So ChatGPT, you're a real estate expert. You're a social media marketer. You're a professional copywriter, whatever job you want to give it. For the response, now you're going to tell it what you want back. So do you want an outline of an ebook? Are you looking for a social media caption? Do you want something that's going to be a blog post? So just give it the output. And you can be specific about that as well, because it needs some more information. So it's maybe ChatGPT, you're a professional real estate copywriter. I'd like you to help me write a listing description. Here's all the details about the house. And then for tone, which is T, you're going to tell it what kind of voice to have, how long you want this output to be, whether you want it to be written professional, approachable at a 12th grade reading level, at a 3rd grade reading level. Do you want it to use luxury language? Because, when we speak to the luxury buyer, that's a different language than when we speak to the average buyer. It's a difference between a large yard and a sprawling yard. So those key phrases and tone differences can make a huge difference in how your writing style is. And you want to tell ChatGPT that, because its default is just neutral English. So give it details, give it context, and give it a tone. And you're going to get so much more out of it by just doing that. So now we're going to go through a couple just so you can see. So an okay prompt, like you're just barely getting started. Help me create content for my social media. I want to make a week's worth of Instagram videos. That's fine. Better, you're a social media strategy specialist. Help me create 1 week of content with 3 reels, 2 static posts, and 1 carousel. My target demographic, first-time home buyers in Gilbert, Arizona. And then the tone, upbeat, fun, informative, to attract. So just going through those 3 steps takes you from an okay prompt to a much better prompt. Same thing, relocation guide. Here's who it is, here's what I want, and here's the tone. I personally like to write everything at an 8th grade reading level. I find that for most people who are on social media scrolling through things, they don't want to read like high level type stuff. They just want it short and sweet, to the point, just to capture their attention. So additionally, in ChatGPT, and this is again where it differs from the other language models like Gemini or Claude, but you can do threads versus custom. So in a regular single chat thread, that's just where you start a new thread and have it running. If you have your memory turned on, it's going to remember your previous conversations. It's going to follow your custom instructions. It'll learn as it goes. What I've found is that in a single chat thread, if I keep it running for a very long time, the memory starts to fade on it. And then I have to kind of tweak it to get it back to where I wanted it. So sometimes it does take a little bit of extra work after I've been using it for like a week or 2. An example of this would be if I had a single running chat thread specifically for my social media. So I just have 1 chat thread for Instagram. Yes, it'll know my tone, but by week 2 or 3 of me consistently asking it for posts and scripts and captions, it's not going to remember back to what I asked it 2 weeks ago. So it tends to get a little buggy in that regard. But it works great if you want to use like a single chat thread and you want to keep it for a specific property. So like, let's say you have different listings and you want to use a single chat thread to write the listing description, to write the social media caption, to write the under contract emails, whatever you want to do, and you just keep them all in one chat thread. That's great. So custom GPTs, these are the ones that if you do have the paid version, you can create your own and you train it. So it follows any directions that you set up. You are allowed to add PDFs, JPEGs, you can import emails, you can have it learn a lot of things. And then that's the information that it's going to use as its like frame of reference. It's very specific in nature. You can create new threads within that custom GPT and it'll continue following your directions. You can switch tasks and it tends to have better memory. The downfall is that it doesn't follow custom instructions. You have to reset and reprogram it to have that as part of its like custom coding. So as long as you include that in your custom setup, then it remembers who you are and what you do. So an example of this, I know an agent that is using custom GPTs for each type of client and property that they list. So They have a custom GPT for luxury land. They have a custom GPT for luxury properties. They have a custom GPT for manufactured homes. They have a custom GPT for single family homes in their average price point, because they know that the buyers for each of those types of homes and the sellers of each of those types of homes is going to be a different personality and a different marketing strategy involved in each of them. So that's what they've programmed their custom GPTs to do, is to be able to go in and say, hey, I've got a luxury land listing coming up. I want to write this for my listing presentation. I've got a luxury buyer that I'm about to work with. I want to write them a quick 24 hours in my city because I know they're coming to town and only staying the weekend. So that's what they're using their custom GPTs for. So before I pull up ChatGPT, what questions do you guys have on this quick overview?
You can actually move over a PDF just easy, right, in the ChatGPT. You can move a picture as well, correct?
Yeah,
I know people
absolutely.
are texting me right now. I just wanted to make sure. And this is the free one, the free version that you can do that too.
Yeah, you can do that. So you can upload a photo and you can tell it, hey, analyze this photo and pull the text out of it. You can upload a PDF. Like, let's say you found you have a PDF of a training manual and you want to create like a test on it for some agents that you're mentoring. You can actually pop that in and say, hey, give me some test questions for them or some practice questions. You can upload any sort of conversations or scripts and you can then say, hey, let's role play these. So absolutely, you can upload all of that stuff. You don't just have to type your own stuff. And if you have the app on your phone, you can actually use it as voice too. And you can have a voice-to-voice conversation. I do that a lot when I'm driving. I'll just hit the button and let it start talking and I'll talk back to it. And it'll keep track of meeting notes for me. It'll keep track of my brainstorming stuff. There's a lot of things that you can do with that. Another thing.
I do know in the chat, there was a couple questions. One was, will we get get your presentation? Will you be able to share that with us?
Totally. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Was there another one on there? Or whoever's looking at? If there's another question, you could talk or ask the question.
So yeah, if there's another question, pop up and be loud. I don't mind.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kristen.
Okay, cool. So then here's what I would love to do. I'm going to open up. Okay. Stop that share and I'm going to open up a new screen with ChatGPT. And then we will actually play in it. So another really cool thing that I forgot about and I love to talk about too is if you guys are using, like, I know a lot of people on Zoom use Otter for Zoom. You can use Otter in person as well. And Otter is great if you are, like, right now I'm at the conference for Glover U. We've been using Otter to transcribe all of the stage talks and all of the breakout panels. And then it's going back in and it's creating notes for us. So realistically, the only notes I have to take are like little tidbits of things that stand out to me to remember later. But all the meat and potatoes stuff is all being recorded by AI. So that one's Otter AI. And then for Zoom, another one that's great for Zoom is called Fathom. So, and I'll spell that one on screen. So you've got Fathom AI or Otter AI as transcribing services. So, perfect. So for those who don't know, your custom instructions are going to be in this little bubble up here on the right-hand side where it says customize ChatGPT. And then this is where you can give it its traits and you can give it all of this stuff. And then you can tell it all about you. You've got 1,500 characters here to fill in whatever information you want. So I highly recommend playing with that and getting your ChatGPT dialed in so it knows who you are and what you're doing. And then over here on the left-hand side, this is where you can see, like, these are the custom GPTs. It doesn't show all of them. I have other ones that I can click through. And then these are all of the threads that I have running at any given moment. As far as sorting goes, One of the new features is this project feature. I'm very excited about this because then again, you can use a project, you can put different threads into the project, and then it's basically like folders and files within ChatGPT. And that was just recently released. So I really like that. As far as models go, if you've got the free version, you're going to be on GPT 4.0, which is just fine. It's going to do exactly what you need to do as a real estate agent. If you are starting to get into like automations or doing coding or doing anything more advanced, then O1 works great for that. But in general, you can keep it in 4.0 mode and you'll have everything that you possibly need from that. So like we were talking about too. So this is where you would attach files. This is where if you wanted to see what other tools you can use, it actually gives you the options for those. And then this will actually give you a web search. You don't have to go on the web anymore with ChatGPT. It's automatically connected now. If it feels like it needs internet search, it will just go search and bring back stuff. It used to be that you actually had to say, hey, ChatGPT, go to the internet, find this, and then bring it back. And you don't have to do that anymore. So that's a nice upgrade as well. And then I love that it kind of just gives you some ideas here at the bottom. So if you really aren't sure where to start and you are brand new and you're afraid you're going to break it, just push the buttons and see what happens. You can't break it. I promise. I've been using this thing for almost 2.5 years and I haven't broken it yet. I've tried all sorts of stuff. So like, don't be fearful of it. It's going to do cool stuff for you. I think the biggest thing is that people don't think outside of the box of like just using it for listing descriptions. So for me, I really like telling it like you are an expert. We're going to say it's a real estate coach. I want to sell 25 homes this year. Help me write a comprehensive business plan. So this is something that you can have it help you with. Ask me questions to create the plan that fits. So people don't realize you can have ChatGPT ask you questions, not just you ask it questions. And it can do all sorts of other things besides just your copywriting stuff. So it can help you with your business plan. It can help you with your P&L. It can help you with your expenses. The only caution I will give you is that everything you put into it can get back to OpenAI because you are uploading sensitive data to ChatGPT. So be careful about what you're putting in here. I don't recommend uploading like your credit card statements and saying, hey, ChatGPT, help me figure out what I shouldn't buy next time or help me cut my expenses. Like, let's not put credit card numbers on the internet. So that's my safety warning for y'all. Like, put things in here, do cool stuff, but don't give sensitive data. Like try to avoid giving client details as much as you can. I'm not sure how, is my sound still okay? Because it got real loud in this hallway. Are we good? Okay, cool. Awesome. So here's what happens if I push this button. So because it has my custom instructions, it already knows some of this information, but it wants to confirm that. And so that's what it's about to do. It's about to ask me a whole bunch of questions because I told it to. What's really cool too is if you already have your business plan, you can upload that to ChatGPT and you can say, hey, ChatGPT, analyze my business plan and show me what gaps I have. Tell me what steps I'm missing. Give me my actions that I need to put into place for the next quarter to make sure I meet these metrics. You could also ask, who am I missing in my organization if these are my goals? So you can use it as a business consultant in addition to your human coach that you probably have. So it's amazing for things like that. Additionally, and I'll go show you a couple of things that I've been doing. So while I was here at the conference, I was testing out how the voice feature works. And so I literally just turned it on and let it listen to the stage. And then I told it to write me an outline of what was talked about. And so rather than using Otter, I just used ChatGPT. So you can totally use it for that as well. Another one that's great is having it help you with rewriting things. So we're going to call this R&D. If you have something that you got sent, let's say in an agent email, and you absolutely loved it, you thought it was great, but it didn't quite sound like your words, you can take what they wrote, put it into ChatGPT or Claude or whichever one, and then you can say, rewrite this to sound like me, and then it will. So that comes in handy when you are wanting to do like YouTube scripts or social media videos, and you saw something that somebody else did that you liked. Rather than taking it exactly the way they wrote it, take it and put your own spin on it. And so that's the R&D, not copy paste, not steal. We're just, doing a little bit of research and development.
Credence. Yeah.
Also, what's cool is you can have it create checklists for you. So in this case, this is something that's in our seller guide. See if I can make it bigger. So this is in our seller guide. Our sellers get this at their listing consultation, which is great. They have this, they follow it. Well, I had a client who has an adult child who lives at home, and she wasn't sure what she needed to do every time she left the house. So I took that and uploaded it. And then I said, hey, write me a checklist for an adult child who lives at home of what they need to do before a showing. And then I sent that to my client. She printed it out, and then her kid knew what to do before a showing. And that way, if my client was at work, it was all taken care of and she didn't have to worry about it. So it's a great way to repurpose something that you already have without having to like jump into Canva and then spend more than, I think I spent maybe 5 minutes on this total. So again, saving time, saving energy, all of that. Who is using, like right now, who uses ChatGPT on a daily basis in your business? I saw a couple hands. Okay, good. Quite a few of you are. What's your favorite use case for it?
Mine is it takes my tone. It checks my tone when talking.
Yeah. I love it. Have you had it change a what you would want to be a snarky email into a professional one for you?
Yes, I have. That's one of my favorite emails, especially when receiving it, because I do home loans and people are not always nice to the lender, let me tell you. So that
See,
response is professional. And let me tell you, just being able to do that alone, people like to work with me because I'm nice.
I love that.
But I did just figure out the customize part. So thank you for sharing that, because that's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Especially when, here's the other thing that you can do too, is you can actually take some of your favorite emails that you've written that you actually do sound like you and that you like, and feed those into ChatGPT, and then just ask it, say, hey, what's my tone? Like, what is my natural tone? What is my natural reading level? Like, describe this, how you would perceive my language to be. And then you can turn around, and every time you ask it to generate something, that's the description you use. And it'll know what you mean because it already described what you naturally write. Wow. So that one's a great way to do that too, and make it sound like you when stuff is coming out. Because the less editing we can do, the better it is. Scott, you came off mute. Do you have a question?
Oh no, I was just saying, wow, that's really powerful.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, perfect. Yeah. You can also, so this is literally just the ChatGPT stuff, but like for the leverage and the automation stuff, like using Zapier with things is amazing. Using Zapier with command is really cool. You can also do like landing pages from your social media, so then you can track where people clicked from and how they got into your database, and then you can retarget them with social media, and that'll all happen automatically behind the scenes. And those are things you don't have to think about, and they're just happening. So that's all AI. Like, people don't realize that it is, but it's all AI because it's machine learning. That one's a really big one. Oh, here's another one that I really like too. So I don't know how many in your office, but we have a fairly large KW ADHD community. And so my ChatGPT knows about that. So this is one of the things that I was talking about. When you're overwhelmed and you've just got too much stuff to do, like literally asking it to prioritize your schedule. I'm just gonna make stuff up. Follow up open house leads, write a listing, description, give input sheet to TC for MLS, and let's say schedule photos. So literally, I just told it like, hey, here's the stuff I got to do today. Like, I got too much things and I can't think about what I start with. And it literally tells you, hey, here's the things that you need to get done first. Here's your high priority. Here's your client. Here's your creative. And so then it also gives you a suggested schedule. I have a friend who let ChatGPT run her schedule for a week. The night before, she would literally put it in and say, hey, here's all the things I have to do tomorrow. Here's the appointments that I already have. And ChatGPT filled in the blanks for her and she just followed it. She said it was a great week because she didn't have the mental fatigue of trying to decide what is she doing next. It was already done for her. And then she just left a blank spot in the afternoon for putting out fires and dealing with other things. So if you're struggling with time blocking, work with ChatGPT on figuring out like, where is my struggle? What needs to change? What needs to happen? And then sometimes just getting it from a different source besides yourself holds you accountable to it. So that's another really great thing. You can also you can ask ChatGPT to follow a book schedule like Miracle Morning or MREA or any of those things. So rewrite my schedule according to the lessons in MREA book. So now it's going to go by Keller Williams rules and tell me here's what my schedule should be based on MREA. So there you go. And you can do that with any, like if you're reading a book of any kind, you can also just say, hey, summarize this and give me action steps. I love doing it with YouTube videos. If you go you can do one of two things. You can either download Jasper, which is an extension on Chrome, and it'll give you a transcript for every YouTube video you want. Or you can just click the copy button for the YouTube video and take it to a transcript generator. There's a bunch of free ones online. Feed the transcript to ChatGPT and then say, ChatGPT, give me the action steps and summary of this YouTube video. So an 1.5-hour YouTube video is now condensed down into text for you. And then you can decide if you actually want to watch that video or if you got everything you needed out of it. So I love that as a step too. I'm going to go back to, does anybody have any questions on using ChatGPT or language models or how to talk to it or writing prompts or any of this stuff? I'm happy to troubleshoot and answer questions.
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah.
I'm big on the Gemini one,
Okay.
and I know you keep bringing up ChatGPT, but is there a difference? And I'm not like I guess. Do you think I should just stick with Gemini? Is it all the same, or?
It's as far as the language models go, yeah, they're the same. So if you like what you're getting out of Gemini, use Gemini. There's nothing wrong with it. And it's in the Google universe. So everything's all related, which is nice too. So you can, I feel like you can make it talk to Google Docs and to Google Sheets and all of that stuff very easily. So if you like Gemini, stick with it. There's no reason to go back and forth. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
Does anybody else have any questions or anything that she could help us on?
Yeah, you mentioned scheduling and can you give an example of that?
As far as scheduling goes, it won't talk directly to my calendar is the only step that I don't have it doing. I just have to take what it says here on my, where it tells me what I have. So I'll play with this MREA schedule that it has. And I'll just say, I forgot about an appointment at 2 p.m. Rewrite my schedule for tomorrow to include that in addition to these tasks. So now it's going to give me, okay, 9 to 11:30. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing my lead gen. 11:30 to 12 is just my buffer time, responding back, acknowledging that people may have messaged me or emailed me or whatever, and tell them, hey, I'll get back to you this afternoon. Then lunch, 2 p.m. is whatever that fake appointment is. And then afternoon is your admin TC tasks. So that's really like, if you're taking the MREA schedule and you're taking what you already have, and then you're taking what tasks you need to do, it'll tell you all the things. You just have to put them into your calendar.
Okay,
So
thank you.
there is a way, like if you wanted to connect this, like you can connect through Zapier if you want to. You can connect a large language model to your calendar. I personally just don't want it in my calendar. Like, so I haven't connected it.
Thanks.
Of
That's
course.
amazing. That is absolutely amazing that you can do that with your calendar.
Yeah. Yeah. You could also, like I said, too, on the personal side of things, it's amazing at meal prepping for you. Like it will literally, if you say, hey, I want 5 days of meals, here's what we like to eat. It'll give you recipes. And then you can say, hey, great, break those recipes down into a shopping list. And then now you have your shopping list for the week. And then if you really want to leverage it off, go put that into Instacart and then have it either delivered or pay somebody to pick it up and bring it to you. So full leverage on grocery shopping. I have teenagers. I just make them go do it for me. It's great.
Wow.
I have a question.
Now you just opened my eyes. That was awesome.
I have a question.
Yeah,
because
Rick.
I'm a toddler when it comes to using AI, and it's something that I'm looking to incorporate. I'd like to know where we can go to get better at prompting ChatGPT, because I know that's a huge part of success when it comes to the AI model. So how would you suggest we go about that?
Well, my number one suggestion is just to practice, just start prompting it yourself and seeing what comes out of it. So like practice and play, because you're going to start to figure out what works for you, because the way I prompt might not result in the way, like what exactly you want. But the other option is, there's 2 great groups. One is called AI Prompts for Entrepreneurs. It's run by a guy named Jonathan Mast. It has, I don't know, 100,000 plus members at this point. It's massively huge. It's not just real estate. And that's the thing I like about it, because it's just prompting. It's people talking about, hey, I did this prompt and here's what I got. I did this thing and here's what came out of it. And so that'll really help too, because you're seeing how
Hey,
other
that
people are
AI
using it.
But who? I didn't hear the end. AI prompts.
I'm going to put it in the chat too. AI prompts for entrepreneurs, which is a word I can never spell right. So I hope I did. Yeah, the owner of that one is Jonathan Mast. And then the second group is, my earring just jumped out of my ear. Wow. The second group is mine, which is the ChatGPT and AI Mastermind for real estate
On Facebook.
on Facebook. Yeah. I'm gonna see. I think I have it on. I should, if I did my job right. I did. It should be on here. I have to move all of my people around. There we go. Is it on here? Maybe it's not on here. Anyways, well, if you scan this little thingy and you leave me a review, I'll know that you guys were all part of this, and then I'll email you with a link to the Facebook group. And then I have a 5 prompts for real estate PDF that I will happily send you in exchange for leaving me a review. I'm not above bribing people for testimonials.
That's awesome. Well, we truly appreciate you, and I appreciate you rescheduling from December to now. So thank you so much, and enjoy your class that you're in.
I will. We're having a great time. Jeff Glover is always amazing to learn from. So he gave his 12-step listing process this morning, and that was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everything. We'll see you in family reunion.
See you guys there. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
you so much. Does anybody have any questions? We are gonna close out. Go ahead and email me if you have any questions or text me, and we'll get this on our YouTube channel for everybody to review. Thank you so much, Kristen.
You're welcome, of course. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen.
Bye. All right, you guys, what you guys think? Did you get a lot out of that? Amazing, huh?
I am not using chat.
I know. I love that.
You guys, this is what I do while she was doing her presentation. I put into ChatGPT, those guys. Create 3 Instagram reels and two static Instagram reels for 55 plus older that are downsizing from a 1990s house to a condo in 2024. And it gave me 3 reels of what to say, what to do, how to do it. Okay, and then I said, well, wait a minute, give me the picture of the split screen of the old house and the new house. And it did that too.
Wow,
Gave me the graphic.
that is awesome.
I don't have to go through and take
Yeah.
photos or.
And how long did that take you?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. That is awesome. Yeah. So Kristen, thank you so much, right? You just like
Heck yeah.
bullet forwarded to her. That is
I love
awesome.
it.
Thank you.
Getting right into action.
And
That's
you're a
my
great
favorite.
referral agent. Yes, you're a great referral agent from what area?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes, Phoenix, Arizona. That is awesome. Anybody else want to give their ahas? What did they get out of this today? Because that was pretty amazing and was spot on too. No. Yeah, yeah, you gotta think and you have to read. We're not gonna give up on reading, right? Yeah, yeah. What was that?
I didn't know it transcribed like a.
Transcribed,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's incredible. That's gonna be
Your
so
notes,
helpful.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
On that
Awesome.
note of transcribing, guys, you can actually do it at listing appointments too.
You could do it at listing appointments? Okay,
Yeah,
so give,
if you wanted to run Otter AI like on your phone or on your laptop or whatever, it'll record your whole listing presentation and then it'll transcribe later for action steps of like, hey, these are the things you said you're going to do for the client. And there's the things that the client said they were going to do. So it gives you guys a full action list without having to like remember what did I say? What did they say?
that is awesome. That is awesome.
Do you have to get permission from the sellers to do that?
I would think
To
so.
record?
I would think
I
so.
think so too.
Yeah, to get permission.
Yeah, I do just because I don't ever want someone thinking I'm doing something weird. So I just say, hey, I'm going to record this so that way I can play it back later and I know exactly that I'm going to do what I said I was doing.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody. We do have a set of keys just sitting up front, just to let you know. All right, you guys, thank you. Make it a great day. Remember, good energy creates even better energy, so make sure it happens. Okay, I'm so glad.